What's up, YouTube? Johnny Wad back here to talk about the Are You Leading or Am I episode of the season finale of Killing Eve. And just to jump right in, I feel kind of ambivalent about Dasha's death in the hospital, because I feel two ways about it. On one hand, I'm happy that she died because she was a terrible human being for what she did to Eve and Oksana. And on the other hand, I don't know. I think it was really anticlimactic to just have her like die mid-sentence, like I just don't understand it. I was expecting something more, I guess, but I guess I shouldn't have gotten my hopes up there. So I guess Eve did get what she wanted after all, because she did kind of kill Dasha by stepping on her chest, so that's probably what caused her to die, because there's no other explanation for it. So anyways, and then Carolyn and Oksana meeting at Royal Albert Hall. I don't know what Carolyn was thinking to turn Oksana down like that. Excuse me. Anyways, that wasn't cool. Like, Villanelle could probably make a really good spy. Like, she dresses good. She's really good at disguising herself, and she can get into and out of places. So I don't know why she would turn down her offer like that just because she doesn't want to kill anymore. Like, dude, she wants out of the assassin life. She should have hired her. I don't know what Carolyn's problem is. Like, she's underestimating she's underestimating Oksana, and that's to her great peril, because I'm sure, like, if that was the old Villanelle, she would have probably killed her right then and there, just out of spite. But since, Oksana went through this huge character transformation this season, she just was like, whatever, it's like your loss. And it is really, because Carolyn, there was like so much potential there, she could have like molded her and shaped her into this really masterful spy. Like, I feel there's wasted potential there by her not accepting it, but whatever. Okay, next is the dance, right? I'm assuming that's like the tango dance or maybe ballroom. I'm not 100% sure what style dance that is, but it was kind of endearing and kind of wholesome. And in this series, there's really not a whole lot of that type of wholesomeness. That dance between Eve and Oksana was really like almost cute and wholesome, and I was here for it. I liked the dance, really, and then they would talk about her past. She's like, oh, I had my first kill here, I think about it a lot, like, what would my life have been like? And then, it's that back and forth banter. I appreciated it. To be honest, if I had to think about it, I think Oksana would have made a really good stylist. Maybe like a celebrity stylist or like a fashion designer, because like she has really good sense of style. Her style this season has been like nothing short of A+ material. It's just been constantly on point. there hasn't been a single outfit Oksana wore that was ugly or bad to look at. And she knows how to dress people, because look at what she did in the, was it in the first season with Eve after she came back from Berlin and gave her all those really expensive outfits. She really knows how to dress. And she knows how to dress other people and like accessorize. Because I think that's like a really underrated skill sometimes. But the dance scene, I liked it. It was nice. And I wanted to see more interaction with them. But I wanted to see more stuff like that. When just talking about their past and all that and choices that they made. So it was nice. Although I didn't like Rianne interrupting the dance. That was not cool. And I'm glad that that bitch got like Spartan kicked onto the train tracks, and then she ended up getting killed by the train. Even though Oksana really was like, she didn't want to kill her, but I mean, no, her apologizing really shows the amount of character growth that she's done this entire season, right? Because before, she wouldn't have apologized for anything. She would have just, you know, said, you know what, bitch, and just attack her and then throw her onto the train track. So it really shows huge character development on her part, like real emotional maturity for her to do that. And then Oksana telling Eve to be the like enforcer role, if you will, when she went to the race, like the bookie place to collect the Russians safety safe box content. I could see Eve doing this like for the 12 or whatever. I could see her as in that role, like as an enforcer, to go to the different places and be like, look, bitch, where's the money? I could see her doing that as a like, work or whatever. Because she did a good job of doing it. So I could easily see her being this kind of like, almost like a mafia enforcer. Even though the 12 isn't really like the mafia, but I mean, I guess they sort of have similarities, but I could see Eve doing that. So, anyways, Villanelle showing up in the bitter pill. That was actually one of the funnier moments this season. You know, it was cool. I liked seeing her show up at Eve's job. Well, it's not really Eve's job, although it became that towards the end, but it was funny seeing her interact with the people at work there, and they were all scared of her. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have been afraid of Villanelle if she showed up there, if I was in that universe. So I guess there I would disagree with Julie. Even though as a straight guy, I really don't fear Oksana. Like, I would be, maybe a split second, I'd be maybe intimidated, but I really wasn't afraid of that character. Like, so it's hot as hell out here. I forget that girl's name that works in the bitter pill, but it was, I don't know what her deal is. Like, she had like almost no lines. Like, what was the point of that character? I don't understand why they put her there. Just like with Geraldine. Well, what the fuck was the point of Geraldine's character this whole entire season? She didn't do anything. All she was there just to whine about, um, Kenny being killed, and they're just whining to Carolyn all the time. So I'm kind of glad that, Carolyn told her just to, like, bitch, I want you out of my house. Like, you need to go be on your own. I guess Villanelle likes tank fastics, so I guess that dude needs to really hide his candy in a in a better hiding place, because, like, just from the footage that they showed in the security footage, like, he really needs to hide that shit better, because Kenny just always found it and was stealing his candy. And Constantine being there, I mean, I do agree. Like, I believe Constantine when he said, like, I didn't kill Kenny. Like, I believe him, because Kenny did seem like he was kind of, what's the word? I'm trying to remember it now. I don't want to say awkward, but he kind of was a little awkward. He seemed a little clumsy. There we go. That's the word. He seemed like a clumsy individual. So for him to, like, fall off the building because he probably slipped and fell, and then he just hit the trash bin head first. Like, I could see that happening. I think it was really just an unfortunate accident that Constantine tried to stop and prevent, but Kenny fell before he could do anything. So I don't think it was Constantine's fault that happened. It was just a tragic accident. And I'm glad that Carolyn decided to forgive him, even though she did it, like, reluctantly. By not killing him, she ended up shooting Paul instead, which I'm glad, because I want more Constantine. And I'm glad that Constantine now is able to keep his promise to Irina, and he's gonna bail her out of jail, because if Carolyn kills Constantine, then he can't fulfill his promise to his daughter and get her out of jail. And then she probably would end up finding out later that Carolyn killed her father, and she would probably hate her and, like, try to kill her if they decided to go that route. But I'm glad they didn't. So Constantine's just gonna bail her out, and they'll go to Cuba maybe and just live out the rest of their days there, which I would be down for. I'm glad they would do that. So that's an important thing. Oh, never mind. Well, never mind. It's just my neighbors. Anyhow, yeah, Carolyn killing Paul. I was expecting her to kill Constantine, and then for Constantine to really show the emotion that he showed by, like, screaming for Villanelle to do something, and then he started crying and shit. Like, I've never seen that kind of emotion out of Constantine, like, at all. In the entire 3 years that this show has been on, I've never seen that kind of emotion from him. I mean, I know in the first season they were supposed to kill him off, but I guess he was too likable of a character, and they really liked the chemistry between Kim and Jody, so they decided to keep him on. And I'm glad that he didn't die this season either, because, like, he's a likable character. I mean, he made some bad choices in his life, but I think he means well. So hopefully he'll go to, like, Cuba or some other place and just, like, get out of that life and just raise his daughter and try to, like, make sure she doesn't turn into Oksana, because I think that's the last thing in the world he wants, is another one of them, another Oksana, because, like, He had his hands full like the first time. And for the bridge, the finale ending scene, I was here for it. I think that was the best way that they could have ended this episode, instead of them just rushing into each other's arms and like making out, which is, I know like all the shippers wanted that, but like that would be forcing it, and we already got a kiss in the third episode, so there's no need for another one. I'm just tired of all the fucking shippers just like trivializing their relationship to just be, oh, it's all about sex. The relationship is so much deeper than that. And I'm glad it ended that way, because it made it more beautiful to end it by just them looking at each other and realizing, they're like drug addicts. They can't quit each other. No matter how hard they try, they just can't quit. They just can't stay away from each other. Like every time they try to leave, somehow they constantly get drawn back in to each other. So I'm glad that Eve is the one who chose Oksana, because Oksana did not choose her. This whole season, she was really ready to just walk away and leave everything, even Eve. So I'm glad that Eve, and she did give Eve the option, right? At the end, she said, we'll just turn around and then we'll just keep walking and never look back, and that's how I can help you. If you want your monster to stop, then this is the way I can help you. Just walk away, and then you never have to look back. Although I know that that was kind of some manipulating there on Villanelle's part, but I mean, Villanelle, that character, that part of her is gone now. It's just Oksana now. I'm pretty sure next season is just going to be Oksana, but I mean, Oksana gave her the choice, right? So you could walk away and never look back, or you can turn around, right? She gave her the choice. Something that she never had in her entire life, right? Her mom never gave her a choice in how she ended up living her life. So she gave Eve the choice she never had, right? So like she gave her an option. You can just keep going, or you can turn around and we'll just be together. And Eve, I know she didn't stop first, because Oksana stopped walking first, but Eve turned around first. So she chose Oksana because I know that she wanted them to have a future together, because like she visualizes Oksana's face all the time when she thinks about the future. So I guess we're gonna get what happened in the books after all, because I know in the book they moved to Russia, they changed their names, and then Oksana goes to college to study language or something, and then Eve studies psychology, which to me makes perfect sense for Eve to study that subject, because she spent like 3 years or however long in this universe, however much time has passed from the first episode to now, like however much time that has spanned. It makes perfect sense for Eve to study that, to study psychology, because like all she's done is try to like get inside Oksana's head and figure out what makes her tick. So Eve would make an amazing psychologist if they decide to do that for season 4, but I know the 12 is gonna really come after them now, because like their accountant is dead, and Paul, who worked for the 12, is also dead. So they're gonna come after them both hard. And Oksana is vulnerable right now because she wanted out, and she just doesn't have like the killer instinct that she used to have in the beginning, right? In the first 2 seasons, she had this really ruthless like killer instinct, but she doesn't have that right now. She kind of went a little slightly soft, so she's going to be vulnerable. So Eve is going to have to protect her a lot more. So Oksana is going to have to like train Eve to be more like ruthless, more efficient killer to protect her. And Oksana's going to have to kill again. But I think it's going to be cool to see them working together like that, because, you know, we've wanted something like this for a while now, right? And for them to team up would make perfect sense, because they're going to be basically on the run, because the 12 wants them dead, and I'm sure MI6 is probably going to want something to do with them, so they're going to have to evade both sides. Excuse me. So that scene was just, it was beautifully shot. The only thing I didn't like was what was I gonna say? Damn it was on the tip of my tongue now. Fuck. The editing was a little bit bad. I'll agree in some parts. The editing could have been a little bit better, like, done. And then, like, the only other thing I didn't like was, you know, Dasha's death. It was like a minor thing, but I guess the editing probably might have been the only thing that I didn't like this season in some parts. I love the title cards, you know, and I love the character development, and I loved the bridge scene. That was probably one of my favorite moments in this entire season, was just the way they ended it. It was beautifully shot. Oh, and I love the music. Music was perfect. It's like we're getting soliloquies, right, into the inner minds of the characters in that specific moment that the music plays, right? It's like we're getting a Shakespearean soliloquy, but it's with music instead. So that was really cool. What else was I gonna say? I guess that's it. Hopefully season 4, Helene meets her end. And if it does happen, that if she does die, then I hope that it'll be Eve. No, actually, I think I'd rather see Oksana do it, to run her through, you know, because Helene kind of has some attraction, I guess, to Oksana. But if anything, I'd probably rather see both of them do it. But if I had to pick just one, it would probably be Oksana. And I'm sure season 4, it seems like it's going to be really crazy with all the stuff they probably are going to do. Oh, and the only other thing I don't like is, I gotta wait a freaking year now. I have to wait a year for season 4. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself now. I'm going to have to watch this entire show all over again, because, like, it was like I was fucking obsessed. I felt like Eve. Like, I was obsessed. Like, her obsession with Oksana is how I feel about this show. I was obsessed with it. And I'm just, I'm here for this show. I hope that they get more seasons, really. I'd have glad if they went, like, maybe 10 or something. That would be amazing. But, you know, however many seasons we get, I'll be happy with it. You know, 8 episodes seems like it's kind of short, but I'm glad that it's a short show, because, like, if you put a lot of episodes, like most shows, they get like around 20 or so, it kind of drags on a little bit, and then there gets a lot of filler involved. So I'm glad that these seasons are short. I just wish they might have maybe put like maybe 10 episodes just to help resolve some of the story points that didn't really get a resolution, right? You can tighten up any loose ends if you had maybe 10 episodes instead of 8. But that's a minor complaint. And, you know, who knows? Maybe in the future they might do more episodes. Who knows? But if they do, I'd be here for it. But if not, I'm not going to complain about it. And I guess that's it. So, peace out, everybody. Stay safe out there because, you know, these rioting is getting out of hand. So, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one, whenever that is.